Thoughts, feelings? What do y'all think?
I'm slowly getting used to it.
Great. Yeah. It's fun, right?
It is fun.
Totally different tradition. Oh, I've done it. Believe me. I have a degree in trombone, so I sat in the back and yelled at all the violins through my horn a bunch. It was fun. It was fun. I liked it.
I
There's.
really like it though too. But
It's great.
like,
Yeah, there's nothing like being in an orchestra with like 40 or 50 other people. Like that's really cool.
Follow the leader. Yeah,
Yep.
right? There's like the amount of etiquette and like, there's a lot of stuff. There's some stuff from the classical tradition I wish the jazz people had more. Like in that creative freedom, there's also sometimes the jazz people are, I'm like, hey dude, like, you're late. Like, hey man, like, why are you late? Like everybody else got here.
there's like classic jazz songs. That
Yep. I built this list. Nate has been adding to it as well. This is kind of originally was a bunch of stuff that like is on college auditions and there's nothing in this book that you couldn't go to a jazz jam and call and have somebody be like, nobody knows that tune. What are you talking about? And if they do, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Anybody,
These are
if-
them.
If anybody gives you like, what? I've never heard of that tune on any of these tunes, give them my number. It was put to me that the first 10 tunes are hard, and after that it's a lot easier.
That's probably also true.
So I think rather than memorizing all of them and getting through all of them, choose 3
Yep.
and start with 1. Like really get into it, spend a month playing it. That's where we're like the whole base of this thing is like how inside of that one tune can you get so that you can't forget it. The other part of it is like it gets easier again like while you know the melody. So a bunch of these, if you're listening to it, you're like, oh yeah, that one tune. And then as you compile and like practice away from the instrument, if you're listening to it and you're like, oh yeah, this one starts on the 4 and does a 2-5 of the flat 3 to the 1, 2-5 the flat 2, and like can kind of walk through that. And then as you're like obsessing about that one tune for a while, you'll start listening to it and hearing that in the changes. Eventually your ear will get better so that you can like hear going to the 4 chord or hear certain larger puzzle pieces. But yeah, a blues and like 2 other tunes that you can just lay into. Do that 3 times, and by the 10th or 11th of them that get onboarded, they're like, I know this. The other thing is stop looking at the paper. You got to practice playing them. And so it's, even if you're fumbling through it, there's that hazy like, I know it's this to kind of, maybe just force yourself to get through it and have a version of it, like check afterward and go, oh yeah, it's okay, cool.
I've had several different teachers say to me, like, one of the best things you can do is to, especially for guys like us, bass player, guitar player, or piano, like, sing the melody and play the changes. I know the melody to this one, but I don't know the changes. Right? I have to read the changes. But the melody, I've heard this tune a million times. I could sing this melody in my sleep. But the changes, that's for me, that's always the harder part, is memorizing the changes.
And I love that you're doing that with the instrument. I had a teacher be like, can you sing this melody? A teacher say, stick it to your bones. If you're kind of like wishy-washy, you don't know it.
Don't know it.
You don't know it. It's like if you're worried about what is the...
I've been trying to learn this random like melodies just from stuff like just by listening to the soundtrack from it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't even know what key it's in, and I'm just finding these notes.
Great. That will serve you well.
That'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, you will like jazz a lot. So much of the stuff, we have these written out because so many of the written versions are bad.
Yeah, incorrect.
So going to the original recording and listening to a bunch of different versions of it is part of the tradition. Every teacher that I've ever had is like, don't learn it off of this. Go and learn it by ear. If you can sing along with it and then play it on your instrument, this will be like helpful in like a, hey, we're on the same page here. But theoretically, like if you're trying to play a gig on in this style, you don't want to book. The hope is that we're all playing it memorized. Any questions to wrap up?
I had something, which I realized today, I only have like 30 or 40 minutes a day to practice. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to like sneak and practice where you could get it?
Yes.
Sounds like life.
Yeah.
A teacher at college was like, it doesn't get easier once you're out.
Nope.
Like this is the most you will ever play.
Yep, quite the opposite. Once you're done with school, that's it. Your practice time is over.
For 30, so you're like 3 or 4 times a week at a half hour, 40 minutes. For me, I focus on like for a horn or something like that, drone pitch, scales are like arpeggios especially, with a metronome and kind of these scales that you have. And then at like that, take that and do it. That'll take like most of your practice session for a month. And then eventually you'll be able to get through that in like 10 or 15 minutes. And then you can spend the rest of it on whatever improvisation, working out some kinks of something, learning a melody, going through a tune, and all that stuff. My general philosophy on it is the more that I dedicate to the fundamentals and like the capacity on the instrument and my ear and time, then I can kind of like, I think I've heard it said at musical hygiene. It's like, if I'm brushing my teeth and cleaning behind my ears, then the rest of it, it'll take care of itself. So the more that you have capacity on those things, then the rest of it is easier.